Hi, everyone. Anthony Fantano here, internet's busiest music nerd. I hope you are doing well. You know who this is. You know what this is. Another edition of Great Albums, where I go over a series of records that I reviewed, in this case, over many weeks, like a couple of months, in fact. And I tell you which ones I thought were great. Highlights. They should not slip through the cracks on you, so I'm trying to refocus your attention onto them here, listed. All the reviews for them are down below. Try out these records, okay? Don't let them slip by. Don't let them slip by, okay? Let's go. Bam. New Phoebe Bridgers album, Punisher. If you want to cry in 2020, Lord knows there are many reasons to. Listen to this thing. It is a very sad, subtle singer-songwriter album with some interesting production, interesting use of filters and EQ on many tracks, beautiful instrumentation, especially the arranged stuff, some co-songwriting from Conor Oberst as well, and a lot of Elliott Smith vibes. I was not a huge Phoebe Bridgers fan before this record. This kind of turned me into one a little bit. Her best batch of tracks yet, in my opinion. Give it a try. Next, I want to point out this collaboration between Mental Jewelry and Moor Mother, two experimental music artists coming together for this Moor Jewelry record, which is a fantastic tribute to the classic no-wave days of noise rock. One track after another of just intense, distorted, fast-paced, visceral, cathartic sounds, excellent vocal performances, and production that really fits the bill. It's not the most lush record I've ever heard in my life, but it's thin, it's punchy, it's grating, just in the way that you want this stuff to be. It's scratching that itch perfectly, that classic no-wave itch. The new Run the Jewels record, of course, RTJ4, Killer Mike and LP are back with their futuristic, very modern and cutting-edge take on hardcore hip-hop, some of their sharpest songs here, one of their tightest track lists, and really improving upon the way they incorporate political content into their music as well. Killer Mike and LP do it again. The new Deerhoof LP, Future Teenage Cave Artists, is my favorite from the band in a while. Their angular, unique, strange, and abrasive approach to noise pop is still sounding fresh after all these years. Deerhoof, as I said in my review, has this strange quality of always sounding different but always sounding the same, and they just continue to succeed at that on this new LP. Freddie, Gibbs, and the Alchemist come through and pretty much kill it in this collaboration surprise drop project, Alfredo. It is short, it is 10 tracks or so, it is one banger after another. Alchemist production is good to great, and meanwhile Freddie shines on every single track here, either with some fantastic flows or a quality verse or a topical focus. This may not be one of the longest or more robust projects that Freddie Gibbs has had his hands on in the last 5 years, but it is still very enjoyable. Freddie and Alchemist complement each other really well. Most of the songs are great, so what more could you ask for? Next, shout out to rapper, vocalist, producer Backwash for God Has Nothing to Do with This, Leave Him Out of It, for one of the darkest, most hard-hitting, witchy trap records that have ever been released, frankly. This album is personal, it is painful, it is dark, it leaves an impression upon you instantaneously. Backwash, I feel, has really come into her own on this album. It took a little while, but she is finally here and sounding fantastic, and because of this record, in my opinion, is one of the most exciting new artists out there right now, so do not miss this one. Next, shout out to Natalia Lafourcade for Un Canto por Mexico, Volume 1. Cannot wait for Volume 2 of this, by the way, but Natalia comes through with some amazing production, just an array of beautiful, wonderful songs, some originals, some tracks that are hers and are just classics from her canon at this point, but are redone tastefully, and covers as well. Lots of covers too, lots of renditions of traditional Mexican music on this one, and we get some folk and mariachi. The instrumentals are romantic and gorgeous, and Natalia vocally is killing it track after track after track after track. Just loving that this album has come into my life and that I can take a second to point it out to you, because this is a fantastic record as well. We also have How I'm Feeling Now from Charli XCX, her quarantine opus. Lots of personal and thoughtful bangers all over this thing, just reflecting on life during quarantine, essentially. And hopefully this album gets a lot of people through all of this. Wonderful that Charli was able to pull together an album of this quality under such conditions and reflect on this situation, this scenario so profoundly over a series of very entertaining pop songs. So shout out to Charli XCX for being great. We also have Perfume Genius, Set My Heart on Fire Immediately. If you enjoyed No Shape, I think you're going to enjoy this. A very diverse array of instrumentals and musical styles explored across this thing, with Mike Hadrius's very unique voice and songwriting style kind of being a thread through all of it, bringing it all together. Not quite as immense or as immaculately produced or as over the top as No Shape, but a lot of the same enjoyable qualities of that project extended out to another record of songs. Can't complain too much. Just a good quality art pop and singer-songwriter record from one of the most unique voices out there today. Do not forget also Mr. Jeff Rosenstock with his fatalist pop-punk epic No Dream. One rowdy, wild, and throttling song after the next, just well-written, well-produced, and all really reflecting on how shitty life can be, in only the way Jeff Rosenstock knows how to do it. Then I'd like to close up shop with a shout-out to the new Chloe and Halle record, Ungodly Hour, a really tasteful and diverse pop and R&B record with some quality vocal performances, quality songwriting, very good production, and much of it seems to be done in-house by Chloe and Halle themselves. I love that they are solidifying their space in the music industry with this album and showing off their talents and their ability to collaborate with a lot of different producers across the board. And from here, I look forward to hearing how they diversify their sound and hone their talents even further. That was pretty much all of the albums I wanted to point out in this video. Again, if any of my descriptions pique your interest here, there are reviews and everything for these records down below. Do not let them slip by you. Again, this is some of the best stuff over the past few months that I have heard, in my opinion, and let me know what you thought of all these records and what albums from the past couple of months stood out to you down in the comments. Over here next to my head is another video that you can check out. Hit that up or the link to subscribe to the channel. Anthony Fantano. Great albums forever.